The content presented in this documentary is for educational and historical analysis only. It is not an endorsement of any criminal activity or organization. Viewer discretion is advised.
The US alleged the gang are hacking money from private bank accounts and launching ransomware attacks which have cost more than $100 million. Around the world, cyber citadels are crumbling. Ukraine, Romania, Poland, Kuwait, South Korea. But there's one place where hackers are not being arrested.
Cash-rich, fast cars, behaving and acting like very flamboyant and extravagant millionaires.
Evgeny Burgashev was charged last year by the US for allegedly stealing more than $100 million in a major cybercrime operation.
For decades, the Bratva's power was measured in physical territory, control of a street, a city, a port. Their weapons were guns, their strength was in numbers. But as the 21st century dawned, a new, more formidable opponent emerged: global law enforcement. The FBI, Interpol, and Europol were making inroads, extraditing kingpins and seizing assets. The old ways were becoming too risky, and so, the world's most adaptable criminal empire executed its most brilliant strategic pivot. They were leaving the streets not in defeat, but in evolution. They were going silent, invisible, and digital. The new battleground was the internet, and the new currency was data. The digital Vory, hackers as the new enforcers. The Bratva didn't need to become computer geniuses. They simply needed to recruit them. They tapped into a deep pool of talent from Russia and former Soviet states. Young, highly skilled programmers facing limited legitimate economic opportunities. These weren't thugs. They were cyber soldiers. The new enforcement tools weren't car bombs, but ransomware like Bad Rabbit and CryptoLocker, holding hospitals and corporations hostage. The new extortion wasn't for cash in a bag, but for Bitcoin in a digital wallet. The new theft wasn't from a bank truck, but from a database. Millions of credit card numbers, personal identities, and corporate secrets stolen with a keystroke. By 2014, the cybercrime market in Russia alone was estimated at a staggering $2.3 billion. This wasn't petty crime. It was a shadow tech industry. The unholy alliance, crime and the state. But the most significant development in the modern Bratva story is not its technological adaptation. It is its relationship with the Russian state. The line that once clearly separated the criminal underworld from the halls of power has not just blurred, it has been systematically erased. Under Vladimir Putin's strongman regime, a new pragmatic understanding was forged. The state would tolerate and even protect criminal networks, so long as they operated within unspoken boundaries. No major operations inside Russia, and their skills were available for state interests. In essence, the Bratva became a deniable instrument of Russian foreign policy. Case studies and plausible deniability. Consider the case of Karim Baratov, a hacker arrested for the 2014 Yahoo breach that compromised 500 million accounts. The indictment revealed a shocking detail. Baratov was directed and protected by 2 officers of the FSB, Russia's Federal Security Service. This was not a rivalry. It was a partnership. The FSB provided targets and protection. The hackers provided skills and, most importantly, deniability. This model extends beyond cybercrime. The assassinations of political enemies abroad, like the attempted murder of Sergei Skripal in the UK, often bear the hallmarks of organized crime hitmen, methods the state can disavow. The Bratva, for some, has become a proxy army, a tool for the Kremlin to project power while maintaining a veneer of legitimacy. The illusion of decline. Are they weaker or just smarter? To an outside observer, this might look like a decline. The bloody gang wars of the 90s are over. Flamboyant bosses are no longer parading in tracksuits. But this is a misreading. The Bratva hasn't declined. It has professionalized. The chaotic free-for-all has been replaced by a stable, if sinister, ecosystem. Figures like Semion Mogilevich now live not in hiding, but openly in Moscow. Untouchable by extradition because they are effectively under state protection. The violence is more targeted, more discreet. The money is laundered through more complex international schemes. The decline in visibility is actually a sign of their success in integrating with the system. They are no longer a state within a state. They have become a fundamental component of it. Global reach in the future, an invisible empire. The modern Bratva's influence is truly global. From money laundering in London's financial district to infiltration of the energy sector in Eastern Europe, their tentacles reach everywhere. They have learned to exploit the very openness of Western democracies, their legal systems, their financial networks, against them. The future of the Bratva is one of continued integration with the global shadow economy. They are pioneers in cryptocurrency money laundering, masters of shell company networks, and experts in corrupting foreign officials. Their greatest strength remains their chameleon-like ability to adapt to any environment, whether it's a frozen gulag or the boundless frontier of cyberspace. Conclusion: the enduring shadow. So has the Bratva declined? The empire of the 1990s, loud, brutal, and chaotic, is indeed gone. But in its place stands something perhaps more durable, and certainly more insidious. A hybrid criminal state entity, an organization that has traded the jackhammer for the scalpel. Their story is no longer just one of crime. It is a dark reflection of modern Russia itself, where power is centralized, opacity is a weapon, and the interests of the state and the underworld are inextricably fused. The Bratva was born from the ashes of one empire, and it has learned to thrive within the framework of another. They are no longer fighting the system. They have become part of it. And so we've traced the shadow of the Bratva from the frozen, desperate silence of the Gulag, through the chaotic and bloody gold rush of the 1990s, to its current chilling form, a sophisticated, digital age entity intertwined with the very state that once tried to crush it. It's a story of brutal adaptation, proving that some organizations are like a particularly stubborn computer virus. You think you've deleted it and then it pops up again, having learned to speak a new programming language. It's been a fascinating and frankly a dark journey to research and tell. If you've made it this far through the entire series, from the Thieves' Code to Cybercrime, then you are clearly a person of refined and intriguing tastes. Thank you for watching. Now, if you've enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden mechanics of power, smashing that like button is the best way to let me know. It's the equivalent of the Vor's secret handshake, but without the tattoo commitment. Subscribing and ringing the bell means you'll get immediate notification when we expose our next target. Because the world of organized crime is vast. This isn't the end of the story. I'll soon be uploading more focused content, deep dives into specific figures like the infamous Brainy Don, Semion Mogilevich, bizarre heists, and the strange, hidden economies they control. In the meantime, your homework is to check out the full playlist right here, where all the chapters are organized for your binge-watching pleasure. And finally, the floor is yours. The comment section is now our strategic planning meeting. I want to hear from you. What shadowy organization should we investigate next? The Yakuza? The cartels? A powerful gang from history? Let me know, and please keep the request to actual criminal empires. My team's insurance doesn't cover investigating your weird uncle who runs a suspiciously successful lawn ornament business. Thank you for your time and your curiosity. Stay sharp.